Welcome to the On The Go podcast, and we're back with Ivor.
Ugh.
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 Ugh. So it's spring. Yes, hello, yes, everybody wave. It's springtime.
Sort
Woo! Sort of, yeah, it's almost
Everything's
there.
brown.
Everything is brown, and we have, they're forecasting snow. Did you know that?
Canada!
But, yeah, it's been so nice today, honestly.
It's a bit chilly this morning. What time did you get up?
I got up at around 6-ish, something like that. When it was really
chilly.
Cold, yeah. When did you get up?
8?
Oh.
Reluctantly?
What? Oh, right. Okay, yeah, I forgot you work later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just gonna do a little springtime chit chat.
Okay.
Chit chat about springtime.
Birds.
Birds. Love them. The best. All right. Thanks for listening to the On The Go podcast. that's it. No.
We've won now.
We've won. That's it.
It's over.
Rather, you've won.
I have?
Yes.
Birds.
Oh wow! Look at that couch.
It's one of the signs of springtime is furniture starting to go out
Exactly. All sorts of things start to head out.
Yep.
All right. Ooh, look at that sun. You also know it's spring because right now it is 10 past 6.
Yep.
And usually when it's 10 past 6, for every time that you've been in the car, it's been dark.
Yeah, but there's also been the time change.
Yes, that is true.
It's the worst.
Another indication that spring is on its way is the time change. Do I know that? No, I don't know that guy.
Indication I'm going to be grumpy for the next week. Grumpier.
Grumpier than normal?
Yeah.
Oh boy. We're in trouble.
Them's the rules.
Them's the rules. But yeah, anyway, so what's any changes in your schedule now that springtime is around?
No.
No?
I'm going to be doing more book fairs at work. Otherwise, it's just the same.
Same old, same old.
Same old until I quit or die.
Cool.
Or get fired.
Why would they fire you? Any idea why they would fire you? What could you possibly do to get yourself fired?
Like the bookstore on fire?
What?
Like the store on fire?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That would do it. The bookstores are flammable, you know?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think they have any reason to fire me at the moment.
Yeah. You're too good. You're too good!
Well, I can't really comment on that. It's having an innately biased perspective on the matter.
True. Very true. Very true.
God, this neighborhood looks terrible in spring.
Oh, all the neighborhoods look terrible. I think let's talk about characteristics of Montreal during spring. All the garbage and shit that's been buried under the snow for the past, 6 months it's starting to appear now. As though, an ancient civilization is being dug up. And it can be horrifying sometimes. You'll find, single gloves or boots and stuff for, dolls and shit. It's terrifying.
Not to mention the mountains and mountains of dog crap.
Oh my god. Oh, outside my building is horrendous.
Yeah.
It is the worst.
And then there's all the gravel that they've thrown out on the ice for the winter that now just accumulates everywhere.
If you're not living in a snowy part of the world that has intense snowfall randomly throughout the winter.
Yeah, if you're not living in one of those places, are there any job openings where you are? How expensive is a house?
Yeah, but to make sure that cars don't flip out of control because they do that.
Or pedestrians, for that matter.
Or pedestrians, but I don't really think they care about pedestrians here. They put down a lot of, what would you describe it as? Little dirt, little pebbles.
Yeah, it's dirt sometimes mixed in with a bit of relatively fine gravel. Yeah.
And
the type of stuff you'd see in cat litter, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
Grit.
Grit. Well, in cat litter it absorbs it, right? So.
Yeah, but we're just talking about size here, not substance.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and so they just put it everywhere so that there's enough friction. That and salt, but salt usually dissolves and goes away. But when it all starts to melt, if I could move the camera, I would show you. But all along the grass here, you can see it. All of this terrible looking stuff.
Yeah, I think I spent a lot of time cleaning it.
Yeah.
And while it's on the sidewalks, it can actually cause people to trip.
Really?
Yeah, you never slid on gravel while walking on the sidewalk? If there's enough of it?
On my bike, I have.
Yeah.
If you're cycling, it's a fucking
Yeah, it's
nightmare.
worse definitely if you're on your bike or if
Yeah.
you're on a skateboard or something. But even when you're walking, if
No,
there's
I've
enough
never
of it,
had that to me.
Yeah.
Luckily. That's good. But yeah, on your bike, if you try to brake,
Oof.
you're still going. And of course, actually, this just happened to me before when I was turning onto your street. I slowed down and then realized that I needed to move up really quickly, or else I was going to clog up some traffic.
Yeah.
So I tried to accelerate, and the tires behind me
kicked up
the tires
gravel.
behind me. My rear tires kicked up gravel, which can be particularly dangerous if there's
People behind
you.
Yeah.
So I had a bit of a scare. I was like, oh shit.
It's okay. Only one infant was blinded.
Yeah.
That's below the legal limit.
Right. You'll have to explain that one to me. Legal limit of injuring young children. Is that what it is?
Oh, it's a whole book on the different situations and how many small children are allowed to be injured.
I see.
Before you've broken the law.
Really, Albert?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Excellent. This is sold at your bookstore, obviously, correct?
No.
Out in the front window?
No, that'd just be mean.
Be something, all right.
I mean, I didn't write the law. I just know it exists.
Oh boy. What have you found that's come up out of the snow piles recently?
I've tried to avoid looking at any of it at all.
Yeah. I found a pink baby sandal,
Huh.
which was very creepy, and a coffee mug that had a cow on it.
Huh.
And it said, "Good morning."
Yeah, I can see why someone threw that out.
Yep. So that was brilliant.
Alright. Well, I mean, could be worse.
Yeah, no, for sure. Could be definitely worse.
Used condoms, the classic.
Squirrels, the classic in Hampstead.
Oof.
Sometimes when I used to walk my dog in Hampstead, because I used to live in Hampstead, if you're in Montreal, you know where that is. If you don't, it's in the western part of Montreal, I guess. Yeah, you'd always find squirrels. The ice would melt and they'd be in pristine condition, which is an odd way of describing a corpse. But it looked like they had just died, and then you'd come back the next day and they would just be like mush.
Oh.
They would just decompose immediately.
Yeah, that's because ice crystals form inside of their cells, and they pulp them, essentially. Which is why cryogenic freezing works. It's a method of preservation. Is all the cell structure is completely destroyed when you freeze them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting, though. As creepy as that sounds, I realize it doesn't sound great, but it's like, oh, wow, interesting. That's just a squirrel. I'm not touching it or anything. Although my dog, on the other hand, she just wants to get to it.
Yeah.
She's like, what is this?
Smells
what is
delicious.
This smell? Yeah.
Preserved just for me.
Yep. I feel like that's something dogs. That's the voice in the dog's head. This is for me. This is all for me.
Squirrel.
It's for me. Although interestingly, Molly doesn't chase squirrels. Molly's my dog. Imagine like a little sister. My little sister doesn't chase squirrels.
Very odd. I mean, what kind of small human doesn't chase squirrels?
Yeah, exactly. Whoa, lots of bumps.
Aye. But you, what are you doing for spring? I'm tired, Christ, it's Monday.
No, you're allowed to be tired. For spring, not much. Gonna get my normal job back, groundskeeping.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta cut that grass for a hell of a lot of time. And then that into the summer.
You're working your Beco gear, too.
Exactly. That's for another video, another podcast. Hello, cyclist.
You know, you haven't let your audience in on the fact that you're a complete nerd yet?
Well, Demo kind of let that slip a little last time. Went to the Demo Festival.
LARPing, yeah.
Yeah, oops. So, we're slowly getting there.
He's an elf hugger, too.
Now you're just adding a whole other level of fantastical elements.
I mean, you can punch me, but then you might risk knocking and you ruin the audio.
Yeah, that is true. It's alright, I'll just break really hard later.
Same problem.
You'll put the laptop away by then, I'm sure.
Will I?
Yeah, right before I drop you off to your house.
Got it.
Whee!
If only I had a seatbelt on.
Oh, yeah.
You shouldn't be ashamed of it, though. Elves are, well, okay, sort of people, too.
Sort of. They're sort of people. They're a bit too clean for my taste.
I'm not sure about that one.
Elves? Are they? Which elves are we talking about? Alright, let's not get into that. Let's not get into this. This is... I'm still strictly a normal human being in this so far. They don't know me like you know me.
Carnally?
What? What?
You're probably going to want to cut that one out. I said carnally.
Carnally? Oh. Well. Oh boy. This is a wild podcast.
Yep.
Yep.
You can tell I'm bouncing off the walls. Energy out the wazoo.
Mm-hmm. Seems to be the case for both of us.
It can't be stopped.
Can't be stopped. Yeah, I'm really glad spring is here. Although I didn't get to skate or ski, unfortunately, this winter. I was too busy.
Oh, what a tragedy.
I know. I didn't get a chance to physically exert myself.
Yes.
Potatoes. Oh, look at this kid run.
He's just looking at the sky while he runs.
Yeah, and he's wearing a Smurf t-shirt. Fun stuff.
Strumpf.
Does this guy have a stop sign? He better, because I'm going.
Funny thing is, German Smurf is not Strumpf. It's, I think it's Smurfing.
Smurfing? Der Smurfing?
Which is funny, because doesn't Strumpf sound like...
Sounds interesting. Oh man, this is great. It's almost 6:30, and...
It's almost 6:30
and there's still light outside. It's great.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's nice out, the weather's getting better, and then it's gonna fucking snow again.
Yep.
Brilliant.
And everything's gonna smell like crap for a month or two.
Why? Because of the poo? But poo doesn't smell.
No, not the poo, but it's just the defrost.
Uh-oh.
The earth sort of defrosts and turns into mud. Everything kind of smells a little bit like...
The mud is the worst, honestly. Yeah. Especially just because of my dog. Because she walks through the mud, because I'm not going to stop her.
Yeah. Then going back to the house, I'm sure your mom's a right fan of that.
Oh, yeah. Because she's got these carpets right at the front door, which makes total sense, right?
Well, it depends on... Usually when you put carpets at the front door so that they catch that kind of stuff, they're supposed to get dirty. The rest of the house doesn't.
Not these carpets.
Yeah, then you got a bit of an issue, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, Ivor. There's an issue. Because people are filthy. And so are dogs.
Yep. Do we basically go the same way every time we go and do one of these podcasts?
Usually I stick to a route because... while I'm talking and thinking of things to say, my mind isn't 100% on the road.
Right.
So it's probably a little safer to go on a route that I'm very, very familiar with.
So does that make sense?
Yeah. So I just focus on the cars and people around me, not so much which direction do I have to go to.
Yeah.
It's probably interesting to talk about. I mean, most of my podcasts, actually, people have certain routes. Adrian and Julian have their own car route. You have your own car route.
I think it's based upon where we start out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, so I usually stick to that route. So if you start seeing very familiar landmarks, not that you can really see anything besides what's on the side windows and not the back,
yeah.
I am going in the same direction. I am going in the same route.
Aye.
But just to be safe.
Well, to be fair, most of the time it's been dark while they've done mine, so...
That's true. Well, now not so much. Now you have two podcasts that are in sort of semi-light situations.
Unacceptable.
All right. I'll cut the video now and we'll...
You're going to have to take down your channel.
You're going to have to take down my channel?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah? like to see you try.
Where's the agreement I signed to be on here for use of my...
There is no agreement, Ivor.
You'll be hearing from my lawyers.
Oh, yeah?
I want a portion of the profits here.
Okay,
all them profits.
You'll be hearing from the back of my hand. Oh.
My lawyers will like that.
In a courtroom. And then what did he say to you? And then he said, "You will hear from the back of my hand." Oh, no. There's a murmur throughout the courtroom. Oh, no, it's unacceptable.
What are you then?
What are you, pagan peasant? Mm-hmm. Pagan peasant, what is this?
Down in the mud with him.
Down in the mud. Put him in the mud. You will be sentenced to the mud pit. No, not the mud pit.
Why the mud pit?
Don't you know that's how Canadian
justice
system
goes? Yep.
That's how it works.
Pretty much.
You go into the mud pit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Waterworld with Kevin Costner?
Oh, ages ago. I think I saw bits of it on TV in French.
The little settlement, the little floating settlement in the movie. Their punishment is basically they put you in an iron cage.
Yeah.
And then they drop you into the fecal dump pit. So they just have this like gross pit of piss and shit, and they let you sink in it in this iron cage, and then you die by drowning in fecal matter.
Oh, I'm sure that your audience is just filled with beautiful images right now.
Yeah. Well, listen, Waterworld, go watch it.
Or don't.
Or don't. Really, you don't. It's up to you.
Yeah.
I have to stress that is not the entire part of the movie. Kids, watch it, kids. Careful, kids.
How old is your audience that you get to call them kids?
I'm talking about the literal kids that were gonna walk onto the street. I don't know, maybe there's a kid watching. I've got like 10 subscribers.
Was there 3 of them?
What?
On the street.
Oh yeah, there was like 3 of them. They were about to come out.
Yeah, that would have been over the limit.
Yep. So what's any plans for outdoor activities during the spring?
Oh, nothing concrete, no.
Okay.
Just to see where things go. I'm sure I'll do some things outside at some point.
Some things outside, yeah. That's a pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll do some things outside at some point. But really...
some of those things will be outside things.
Yes, and indeed. A lot of... during the spring, though, you're not really heading out to do crazy stuff because everything's so wet, right?
Yeah.
So really, it's more of planning what you're going to be doing during the summer.
To some extent.
Okay, fancy maneuvers here. Fuck, everyone's stopping.
What? There are a whole bunch of places for the person to stop there, and they insist to stop at the one place where they end up double parked.
Yep. Not very good at all. Everything just like looks different when the lighting is better.
That's true.
And by lighting, I mean when it's like nice and not dark and gloomy like it is for most of the winter.
There's a bit of a sunset. And there's a bit of a sunset.
Yeah. It looks super nice. Super duper nice.
It'd be a bit nicer if we had some green on the trees and whatnot.
Yeah, that's true. I took a photo for the YouTube page.
Oh yeah.
The YouTube channel, like some channel art. And it's cool because I have a nice view from my apartment. But yeah, everything's just dark and it's not great.
Oh, ugh, corgis.
Corgis! Oh my god! They're furry and kind of fat. Oh, why did I have the thing on?
Dysfunctional.
Jesus, I didn't mean to have that on. Everyone's confused and angry at me now.
Well, that's the end of us.
That's the end of us. Sorry.
The Montreal drivers are preparing now to sacrifice themselves, and takes us down.
Sacrifice us to the automobile gods. Which I'm pretty sure there are in Montreal. There's definitely car gods here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, for sure. That's the only way that these, crazy drivers get their power.
Oil for the oil god?
Yeah, exactly.
Tires for the tire throne?
Exactly. I was just thinking that, actually. Yeah. God, we've been hanging out for way too long, I think.
Say that.
Yeah.
I'm almost telling him now, go away.
Oh, that's funny. Alright, so I think we'll just end it here because parking is going to be a bit of a pain on your busy street.
Yep.
So thanks for watching. Thanks for coming on, Ivor.
Oh, God. When did I agree to this? Where am I? What?
About 4 podcasts ago you agreed to this. 4 podcasts ago. Anyway, if you liked it, hit the like button. And if you want to subscribe, you should do that because we're going to have some other cool videos.
You can have 11 subscribers now.
I'll have 11 subscribers if one other person decides to join up on this crazy...
YouTube sponsorship is not far away.
No, not far away at all. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.